I'm Michelle Renee from In4ormative Services, day 2 at Consensus 2019.
Yeah.
We have Kee here, and please tell my audience who you are, why are you here at Consensus?
So I'm the CTO at Loki, so we're a privacy coin.
Yes.
We're trying to increase privacy in transactions well, it's really about increasing privacy in the blockchain world.
Okay.
So most people don't know this, but when I spend a Bitcoin transaction, I'm sending directly to your address.
Exactly.
Which means there's a link on the blockchain, which is held forever, which means I paid you.
Yes.
Now that's not always the greatest thing, because in business, for example, say if we're negotiating a deal and I send you some money and you can see my bank, you can see my balance.
I don't want that. Don't want that.
I'm thinking, you're thinking, I have $10 million in my account and you only gave me $10,000.
Yes.
You can use that for a negotiation,
That's
right?
true.
You can say, I want more money from you. I know you have more money.
Yes,
right?
yes.
So privacy is really important in a business use case. It's always really important in a personal use case as well. Like say I go up to someone and I pay them some money and they know I have $10 million in my bank account. They can come and hit me over the head with a shovel and grab my Bitcoin wallet afterwards. So really what we're trying to do is we're trying to provide a service where people can transfer money anonymously and more like a cash type system instead of like a digital thing where everything is recorded over time, and all of the links are recorded between you and me. So that's really what Loki is trying to do on the blockchain.
Wow. So as you may know, there are other privacy coins out there, and some survived, some didn't.
Correct.
Can you tell me what makes you guys different? What sets you apart?
So I think there's maybe 2 or 3 different privacy methods out there. So you have the zero knowledge proof coins, and that's like Zcash.
Yes.
And then you have the Monero style coins,
Yes.
and those are the ring signature, ring CT, and stealth addresses
Yes.
coins, right? So we're a fork of Monero.
Okay.
So we're actually using this technology. Well, there's 3 different types of technology. Basically, the ring signatures give you plausible deniability.
Exactly.
The stealth addresses make it so that when I send to someone, I'm not actually sending to their real address. I'm sending to a temporary address. And this technology is kind of the easiest technology to use and apply across the whole transaction set.
Wow.
So in Zcash, they only have a percentage of the transactions being anonymous. So
That's
it's
true.
I think it's about 8% right now of the transactions are anonymous transactions.
As of right now.
But in Monero and Loki, you can actually get this system where all of the transactions are anonymous.
All of them.
Yeah.
100%.
Exactly, 100%.
Okay.
So you actually can't send a transaction that isn't anonymous.
Wow.
And that's kind of what differentiates us in the space, and we think makes us the better functional solution to privacy, along with Monero as well.
Okay.
But the kind of interesting thing that Loki is doing is we're building a second layer network on top of
saw
this.
that.
You might want to ask about
I saw that.
Yeah.
I saw that. So that's fun.
Yeah, it is fun. So most people focus on blockchain privacy, which is when I send you money, I don't want there to be a link created on the blockchain forever. But there's also this idea of network privacy, right? When I browse the internet, I have this idea which is an IP address.
Yes.
So everyone on the internet has an IP address, and when they access a website, the website can see their unique IP address.
Exactly.
It's kind of like a home address in your house. When you receive something to your address, it has your address on it, and you can say, okay, that's someone's home address,
Like
right?
a GPS coordinate.
Exactly,
Yeah,
exactly, right? So if you're browsing around with your IP address being exposed, you're
Yes.
essentially telling every single server you access, every single website you access
Yes.
where you are, right? Which is not always the best thing, right? Even like if I'm going to a doctor website, for example, I want to order a doctor or order some prescription medication, then it's not necessary that I want, every single person knowing that I have my leg's really bad, or I have a disability, or I take this certain medication, right? It's not something that everyone needs to know, right?
Yeah.
So there was this system called onion routing developed a while ago.
Okay.
And this is mainly used in Tor, the onion browser.
Okay.
And the idea is instead of going directly to the site or the website that I'm going to and exposing my IP address to them, I insert 3 different hops between them. And these are 3 different servers that are run by different people, right? So instead of going directly, I hop, and the end server only actually sees one of the hops at the end.
Yes.
So we're using the same type of technology called onion routing in Loki, except we're rewarding all of the people that run these hops.
Okay.
So they get a unique financial reward for every all of the data that they route on the network.
Wow. Okay.
So this is kind of a new system. Tor just relies on volunteers to run their nodes.
Okay.
But we thought, what if we apply a financial incentive to this? What if we allow people to kind of earn money for routing data on the network, and we pay them in this private cryptocurrency?
Good thinking.
So it's kind of like Loki is really 2 things. It's the blockchain layer that I told you about before with the fork of Monero, and it's also the network layer, which provides complete privacy when you're browsing the internet.
Wow, that's awesome.
It is. We're trying to tackle a lot of stuff, but I think we've got a pretty innovative solution to do so.
You're answering a lot of questions.
Yeah.
You're answering or ministering to this industry and reference to a privacy point.
Yeah.
Could you just touch on mixing?
So the mixing happens in onion routing between these 3 different nodes, right? Mm-hmm. Well, there's 2 types of mixing actually. There's the blockchain mixing and the mixing on the network layer.
Exactly.
So mixing in the sense of Monero blockchains or forks of Monero is happening when you create a ring signature. So in Bitcoin, I just send the money directly to you.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Yes.
In Monero, what actually happens is when I send my money to you, it's actually being sent along with mixes.
Yeah.
So it's being sent along with a bunch of other transactions that could plausibly be, or a bunch of other outputs that could plausibly be my transaction as well. So when an outsider looks at the blockchain and tries to say, okay, he sent money to him, he sent money to him, it just looks like there's all of these outputs and you can't actually tell.
Exactly.
So it's the idea of adding plausible deniability, really, to transactions. And that's the big thing that Monero does. So if you have these mix-ins, you might have like 5 or 10 of them. And that means you have plausibly the idea that 5 or 10 people could be the real sender of that transaction.
Okay, so basically...
So that's the idea of mixes on the blockchain side, right? Mixes on the network side are usually happening when you're jumping through these 3 nodes. So that's kind of mixing up the information in there. So no one really knows the true source.
Exactly. So that promotes privacy.
Correct.
Exactly. Tell us where you guys are going. What's the roadmap like in the next 5 years? What's your roadmap?
Okay, so we have a testnet out right now that everyone can use. So if you go to Loki.network, you can jump and you can download the testnet on Windows or Mac. It's really accessible right now, but that's just being run by a small number of nodes that we run ourselves. Now, the blockchain side of things is already launched. That was launched a year and a half ago.
A year and a half.
And we already have these nodes up and running. There's 540 of them, I think.
Oh, wow.
So the next step will be to apply the onion routing network to those 540 nodes. Instead of running just on 10 of our own nodes, which isn't very secure, it's just sort of testing, right? We're going to apply it to the real network. So that'll be happening around the end of the year. So if you're technically minded, you can get involved now. And even if you just want to play around with things, you can get involved now.
You can get involved now.
Yeah, so like there is a product that you can download, you know, and you can read our papers and all of that. But the thing is, like at the end of the year, we'll have a fully deployed kind of network that everyone can use at scale.
Wow.
So you can try it now if you're up for the challenge. Or you can wait a couple of months and just keep Loki in the back of your mind.
Keep it in the back of your mind.
And then when it launches, you can jump on the network basically.
Wow. So you heard it right here. You heard it here. Again, tell us where our audience can follow you and keep in contact with you.
Yeah, so just look up Loki.network on Google. You run into our website. That has the Discord links. That has links to our YouTube channel. We have some really easy videos to understand. I probably went a little bit in depth here, but
no, you did well. You did well.
Yeah, there's some super easy to understand videos out there as well. And the most important thing to think about LokiNet is it's free. Anyone can use it. You don't need to access the token. You don't need to know how to use an exchange or have a wallet or anything. When we launch on the mainnet, it'll be free for everyone to use. So
wow. Well, you know what? I thank you, Kee, for coming and sharing with my audience. And keep enjoying Consistent 2019.
Awesome.
Thank you.